never really thought that I would see and have confirmed pictures of terrorists beheading children. I never thought I'd ever...
What you just saw was a statement from the President of the United States outlining things he had claimed to see in regards to ongoing events in Palestine. The issue is, that was a fucking lie. You heard that right. A White House spokesperson only hours later clarified that U.S. officials and the president have not seen pictures or confirmed such reports independently. The president based his comments about the alleged atrocities on claims from Netanyahu's spokesperson and media reports from Israel, according to the White House. What he's talking about is a story that I'm sure many of you have been hearing, as it has been dominating the airwaves over the last 24 hours. But the thing is, that story hasn't been confirmed in literally any way, and outside reporting has shown that the story seems to have come from a single source with a history of espousing calls for genocidal violence against Palestinians. Thankfully, we have organizations like Mondo Weiss that have been actually reporting on this, noting that the story can be traced back to an article by Belle True, a reporter for The Independent. She said that she was given that story by a member of the Israeli military, although the article that she wrote notes that The Independent did not see evidence of this. The military source, as it turns out, was Major David Ben Zion. According to his Twitter bio, he is the deputy head of the settler leadership organization, the Samaria Regional Council, and a member of the board of national directors of the National Fund for Israel, a quasi-governmental agency used to acquire land in Palestine that is then made available exclusively for use by the Israeli Settler Colonial Project. Following attacks by Israeli settlers on Palestinians in Hawara earlier this year, he was quoted saying, "Here in Hawara, the blood of our children, the residents of Samaria who were murdered here an hour ago, is spilled on the road. The village of Hawara should be erased today. Enough with the talk of building and strengthening the settlement. The deterrence that was lost needs to be restored immediately, and there is no room for mercy." He later deleted that tweet. And The Independent wasn't the only outlet to run the story. A reporter with I-24 News filed a report repeating that claim. Important to note for a second that I-24 News, according to reporting from Haaretz, another Israeli media outlet, is essentially a propaganda outlet for the Netanyahu administration and takes directives oftentimes directly from the Prime Minister. And a similar statement was also made in a video posted on CNN's official Instagram. Notably, the reporter who outlined this in the Instagram claim did not name his sources in the video report or clarify if the information was independently verified by CNN. Now you might be saying to yourself, that's a lot of outlets reporting that story, and you're right. Now there's a lot of outlets retracting that story. That's because on October 11th, the Israeli journalist Oren Ziv, who was also on the ground tour of the site where all of these things supposedly happened, said, "During the tour, we didn't see any evidence of this, and the army spokesperson or commanders also didn't mention any such incidents." And as of yet, no independent news publication appears to have verified the claim made by Major David Ben Zion, with the Israeli military itself denying having evidence of the event. I cannot stress that this means that multiple major news publications and the President of the fucking United States just lied through their teeth to the American public. And they lied in a big way, because that story made waves. That story was parroted by millions of people across the world, parroted in a way that justified the continued bombing of Gaza. A bombing campaign that, as of now, because the numbers are constantly fucking increasing, has led to the deaths of over 1,400 people, including over 200 children, and the bombing of hospitals, of apartment buildings, of mosques, and more. Our media and our president, without any available verification, pushed a story that drove support for an ongoing act of genocide. And a lot of us really ate that shit up, huh? This should be a lesson for a lot of us about media literacy, about not believing everything you see immediately as it is stated, about recognizing that Western media and the president of the world's largest imperialist power might have some ulterior motive behind the things they are saying. You would have thought that after the whole incubator baby story and the fucking lead up to Iraq, that we would have learned by now that our government fucking lies sometimes. But evidently a lot of us haven't. And because of that, and because of the sentiments that have come out of that lie, thousands of innocent fucking people are dead. And this is also something that should cause reflection, because a lot of us were really willing to accept that story at face value with zero verification or evidence, and I think that says a lot. Thousands of people are dying. Millions of people in the Gaza Strip are now without electricity, water, food, medical support, and countless other basic necessities. Israel is committing a genocide in the Gaza Strip, and our media is feeding us things to get our buy-in, to get us to be complicit, to get us to not say anything that counters the prevailing Israeli and US narratives. Something worth thinking on. As always, free Palestine, and have a great day.